everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Member Series Monday, where you have the opportunity to meet our amazing members beyond this floating floor and get to know them a little bit more in depth. And today with me, I've got Savannah. Welcome. I'm so excited you're here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Tell us, how long have you been a member at Burn Boot Camp Prosper?
I joined Burn August of 2022.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. It's been a long time, almost 2 years.
Okay. And how did you hear about us initially when you started?
So we have a Burn sister, Sarah Minke. She lives 2 doors down from my parents, who I lived with for a little bit when Oliver was really tiny. And she said, you need to come to Burn. And I said, okay. And I came.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love Sarah.
I know, she's the best.
Okay. So she lives 2 doors down from your parents' house.
Yep, she does.
I love that. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So tell me, obviously Oliver was still little.
Yes, he was really little. He hadn't even turned 1 yet.
Yeah, I remember when you walked in. Describe me from what you remember. Your day one.
Okay.
When you walked, do you remember?
I remember it.
You remember? Okay. Do you remember who was
really
working?
Well. Yes,
Tell me. Okay, I want to know.
I think Liz was the BA.
Okay.
Jess was the trainer. It was a 6:30 p.m. leg day. I think it was on a Thursday too. Being that specific. But I remember it was leg day. I didn't come with Sarah because she normally comes earlier in the mornings, but that 6:30 p.m. time worked better for me. So I came by myself. It was a pretty packed camp actually for it being 6:30. And I remember I picked up the lightest weights there was. I was so scared. And Jess was like, no, I know you can go heavier. You can pick it up. So I loved having Jess. That was like my very first time at Burn ever. It was a great experience. And I think I signed the same day. So
yeah. Oh my gosh. How cool is that?
Yeah.
What made you want to, I know that was like day one, right?
Yeah.
I think we offered a 7-day trial back there.
So.
I can't remember.
I think so.
What was that decision making for you where you were like, hey, Burn Prosper is like, this is where I'm going to be. This is where I'm going to belong.
Well, being a mom, there's other gyms around that offer child watch or childcare. I knew that's what I needed. I needed somewhere to put my baby and somewhere that I trusted putting my baby.
Yeah.
But a lot of those gyms also don't have, one, the community, 2, the workouts planned for you already, which I don't want to have to think about that. I want to be able to show up and just get it done, not have to worry about what I'm going to do that day. So I loved that aspect of it. And I loved the positivity in the environment. You could tell that people aren't competing with each other here. They come here for themselves. And you make friends along the way. So I love the environment.
I love that. And I think as a mom, you were constantly making decisions, right?
Totally.
And then you just want to go somewhere and be like, just tell me what to do. Like, I don't want to make a decision for one time in my life. So no, I completely get it.
Right.
Oliver's been with us since 2022. He was not even 1, you said?
Yeah.
And how old is he now?
He'll be 3.
He'll be 3.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Walk me through the motherhood journey. That's crazy. Like, I mean, time has gone by
so fast.
And you're a single parent.
Yes, I am.
You're a young single mom.
Yep, I'm 26.
From what I see you do an incredible job.
Thank you.
But I only see social media.
Right.
So, I always call it social media is like the reel of highlights, right? Walk me through what motherhood looks like as a young single mom. It can't be easy for you.
Single parenting can be isolating for sure. You feel like, I meet moms all the time, but I meet moms who have husbands and a family, and that's something that I'm not yet able to give to Oliver. So I try and do it all myself a lot of the time. It's nice to have family that lives close by. It's nice to have friends that are supportive and willing to watch your kid when you need a minute to yourself.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, single parenting is, you are the provider, you are the homemaker, you are their friend. You know, you're wearing a lot of hats, that you see other people, especially like on social media, the highlights of other people's lives. You see them, big happy family, and now it's like, for me, it's just me and Oliver.
Yeah.
So ever since he was little, I've been living with him alone. We live in an apartment together, and I also work full time from home. Yeah. So one thing I love about Burn is that it kind of helps me separate that work-life balance, especially when I work from home.
Yeah.
I get to come here. This is my me time. I know that Oliver's having fun playing with his friends and being taken care of really well.
Yeah.
And I get to have that 45 minutes to myself.
Yeah.
Most people look at the gym like it's a chore, and I kind of look at it like an escape for me, mentally, especially.
Yeah. I love that. You mentioned earlier, or when you started telling me this, you talked about isolation.
Yeah.
Right? How do you navigate that? Because isolation really affects mental health, right? And you make a really good point. Yes, you see a lot of people on Instagram, right? Instagram is just a reel. We don't even know what happens in people's life.
Right.
How do you manage that for yourself, for your self-care where you're not going completely crazy, being isolated and feeling like, oh, I'm alone.
Right.
You know,
I think I thrive on people. I'm a people person. I like to talk to people. I thrive on community, and Burn offers that too. It's just really finding those people who you share something in common with. That first step, I mean, showing up here. Most people have kids. Most people are moms.
Yeah.
Most people are coming to the gym to better themselves in some way, shape, or form. And so I already know I have those things in common with those people that show up here. Yeah. And so it's easy to make friends. Yeah. And when you make friends, you can talk about the struggles, and it's maybe not as isolating because you realize, oh, these people are facing the same things that I deal with, maybe on a different level. Yeah. Or to some capacity, but it's community. It's talking to people, and it can feel isolating being a single parent. But if you take the time to invite other people into your life, it takes a village when you have kids. Yeah. It takes a big village when you're a single parent. So just making sure that you're not completely putting it all on yourself.
Yeah. And I think the biggest thing is it's hard to ask for help. Not only ask for help, totally. I think it's hard to...
It's really hard.
You also mentioned the point earlier about relatability, right? Like it's really hard. Like you see all these families and then you feel like you don't have that. So that's incredible that you do that. You put yourself out there to make these friends and then share your stories, because there's people who are probably going through the same struggle, but they just don't feel comfortable sharing that, right? What do you do for yourself? Like with Oliver managing full-time job, obviously I know Burn is 45 minutes.
Right.
And I love that. And I see you putting in the work even after your surgery, your knee replacement that you had. Yeah. So it's incredible to watch you. But I know 45 minutes is not enough time, like, right? What else do you do for yourself to keep, I guess, yourself together so then you can go raise Oliver?
Yeah, absolutely. I spend a lot of time with my friends. Like I said, I thrive on people. So anytime that I'm not working, I try and get out of the house with Oliver. If it's with him or if it's not with him, I try and spend time with my friends and the people that I love and care about. My family lives really close to me too. They live 10 minutes away. So I always try and get some good time in with them. I love quality time. It's my love language. So,
oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I read a lot. I'm a big bookworm. I love to read.
Oh, I didn't know about you.
Yeah, okay. I do. I think my goal is to read like 50 books this year. And I think I'm at 20 something. So
wow.
Right on track.
That is on track. I love that.
But I do love to read. It's like an escape for me. Like my brain, I can just get invested in a good story. I also, aside from like reading fictional stories, I like to read nonfiction, like self-discovery books, because it just helps you learn more about yourself. Self-care, just really into like investing time into yourself to better yourself.
Huge.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Yeah.
So when you were pregnant with Oliver, do you feel like, did you ever, as a young mom, single mom, did you feel like you were given any guilt, or do you feel like you were judged or anything like that?
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. I was 22 when I found out I was pregnant with Oliver, and Oliver's dad and we broke up really early into my pregnancy. So when I was 3 months pregnant with Oliver, we decided to not pursue a relationship any further together, but knew that we would co-parent in the future. I felt like everywhere I went in public, when you could tell that I was pregnant, that I was just kind of being watched. I didn't have a ring on my finger. And so I would try and like hide my left hand anywhere that I went, because I didn't want to feel judged by people like, oh, she's pregnant and not married. And I feel like it's become more common, but it's not super typical. It's not the right way. It's not the traditional way to do things. And I don't know if I can talk about this, but I went to church. And so I was scared to go to church and maybe be judged. So I went to church and was scared that I would be looked at with opinions of other people, just because they knew I wasn't married and I was visibly pregnant.
Sure. Yeah.
I was scared for the future. I didn't know what the future held. I knew that I was going to have a baby, and that was inevitable. And I knew that I didn't have a partner to live with and do it with. And I didn't know how I was going to provide for not only myself, but my kid too.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I just kind of had to figure it out. Like literally, my mom gave me the best advice, and she was like, you just take it one day at a time. You are pregnant. The most important thing is that you and the baby are healthy right now. And as long as that happens and you have a healthy baby, a healthy delivery, we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah. And look where you are today.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It is.
Like, it's incredible.
I'm proud of myself.
Thank you. Yes, you should be. I'm getting chills talking to you right now. So I'm going to, how do you navigate that I don't even know how to ask the question because I'm about to cry, but how do you navigate that mentally when you go through this? What were some of your resources to navigate that for yourself? Not just for you, for Oliver, right?
Yeah, for Oliver too. My mom was also a really young mom. So that was part of it too. Like, not just being a single mom, knowing that I was going through pregnancy by myself, but also being a young mom. Like, I wasn't by any means like financially ready to have a baby, sure, but I found out I was pregnant and it happened by accident and I wasn't planning for it. And I think it really, it taught me how to grow up really fast. It's not just about me anymore. It's about your baby.
Yeah.
That's like, Oliver came into my life when I found out I was pregnant with him. It wasn't my world anymore. It was Oliver's world. And I am here to provide for him, to take care of him, to be his person.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to recover from the chills you gave me, but thank you for sharing that. I know that wasn't easy. But I hope, and I think you do this, but this is all the moms. I think we forget when you get pregnant, when you have the kids, it just immediately becomes all about them, right? And then we forget about ourselves and we don't do, because not that we don't want to, but those kids do end up being a priority because that is important. That's kind of what we live for a lot of times, but I hope you're taking the time for yourself.
Yes.
Right? Because there's that saying is you can't pour from an empty cup, and it looks like you are taking care of yourself. But you're an incredible mom. I see you not just here. I've seen you outside, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That's amazing.
Thank you. I think as moms, we make a lot of sacrifices. You sacrifice your body to have this baby.
You absolutely.
You really do. I gained 75 pounds when I was pregnant with Oliver. I was in the middle of summer too. I had him at the very end of August. Yeah. So it was the time.
Yeah.
But you sacrifice not only your body, but a lot of your time, your energy.
All the things.
Yeah. So it's just one thing that I have learned is it's so important to make sacrifices for yourself too. Like, you have to figure it out. You really have to, you learn how to do it, how to balance and navigate and make sure that you're getting the time in for yourself, because if you don't, you'll go crazy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So there is a lot of moms out there that are single moms, young moms, all the things. What would be the one thing you would tell them if they're going through a challenge in their life? And I know motherhood has challenge phases every single day. Every day is a different day. What would be your one thing you would tell them?
Something that I heard, I think it was on a podcast or maybe read in a book too, that's really stuck with me. And I think of it every day because it gets me through the day, is you have made it through 100% of your bad days. And look where you are. Like, you made it. You're here. And you've probably learned a lot from those bad days.
Yeah.
So you can take on anything that will come your way. If you're a single mom, you're strong. You're tough as heck. Like, you can do anything.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
You're incredible.
Thank you.
We love you.
Love you guys.